Billing and coding specialist Vicki Rogers remembers when the workflow at Augusta Women's Center was a sluggish exercise in shuffling and searching for patient documents. They used ledger cards in their paper-based system, which was sufficient when it worked, but a nightmare when it failed.
Oh, it was a headache. Finding the ledger cards, and you had to manually type the billing on the HITREC forms. If something wasn't completely accurate in the system, you didn't bill for it.
Failure often included ledger cards and documents being misplaced or never being fully completed. This made billing a hassle, as the two-physician practice often shortchanged itself due to incomplete documentation. The new system has allowed for more robust documentation of the patient history and their medications. It has also allowed for the practice to improve its billing because the providers have a clear direction on how to input notes. Brandy Mauricio, a clinical medical assistant and phlebotomist, used to spend chunks of her workday hunting down misplaced records before the system was implemented.
If you get a chart that you can find that's in file, then of course it's easy. But of course we're all human, we all make mistakes. So if it's misfiled, it takes you a lot longer, it's very frustrating. And of course, depending on how badly misfiled, it can take you all day to find a chart and the patient's sitting right here waiting to be seen. And now that we're doing EMRs, now everything is right there in front of you on the screen. So you don't have to go hunt for a chart, find what you're looking for through the papers. It's pretty much all right there for you.
The process wasn't perfectly seamless, as Rogers had to work with two doctors, one who was completely devoted to the system and another who toggled between paper and electronic records. This posed great challenges.
Dr. Jarrett is old school. You know, even with the EMR, he still reverts back to the chart and wants to review the old stuff, even though it's been scanned in. He still needs that feeling of holding on to the old stuff. We had a new doctor come in that EMR is all she knew. So she was so much more advanced than we were that she actually filled in some gaps that we didn't know about.
After 6 weeks of training 1 day a week to get acclimated to the system, Rogers said that the Augusta Women's Center providers were eager to explore more and more parts of the system for a greater understanding.
Working with hybrid was a great asset. I don't think we could be where we're at without their help. After each training session, we spent that week getting familiar with that portion, which made the next step easier.
It's easy because I'm not afraid to click and see what this button does or see what this tab does. That's how I learn, is by doing it. Just click on it. It doesn't intimidate me by no means, so I just do it.
But each time you were in there getting used to what you had found, what you had learned that week, you'd trip across, you know, a different link and explore that. So a lot of it, I mean, you want to know what they're for. And we caught a lot of it that way.
It will be frustrating at first, but if you stick with it and you try it and you give it some time, it will be beneficial to you and your practice. I can guarantee you that.